all Hollywood Western wardrobe fans. Welcome back to another video. Today's video is basically part two on John Wayne boots and Spurs. So if you go back to my original video that I did, I was using a pair of Ariat boots along with some Spurs that I had bought off of eBay. I have since went and had a custom pair of Spurs made. And the maker of these Spurs they're on Facebook. It is Spurs, I gotta think who, Bits and Tack. And his name is Jose. He's in Mexico. And he made me these John Wayne Spurs. The Spurs shipped to me, everything, total cost was $270. So that was the Spurs and the shipping. And there was he kind of got behind on some orders and stuff. So the Spurs didn't get here as soon as he thought he would be able to get them made. But on that same token, I got them in a very reasonable time. And they are fantastic. The boots, I just scored these boots. They came in yesterday. And the boots are Lucchese boots. And they are the same brand that John Wayne wore. The same color, the same toe, everything. Dating back to I'm going to say late 40s, early 50s. These are the same boots that he wore in Hondo, the Searchers, and I know Rio Bravo. As the years went by with Duke, sometimes he wore a little bit of a rounded toe and later on. But he kind of kept his same boots, same Spurs throughout his movies. Duke was very good about just bringing wardrobe props and stuff over from movie to movie to movie. And if you actually go back and watch his movies, you will see that his supporting cast, other actors, are wearing some of his stuff in, movies later on. He just carried that wardrobe over with him. But Duke liked what he liked, and he carried it, like I said, from picture to picture. He really didn't change up that much. So we'll start with the Spurs. I'll kind of come up here and so you can see them in all their glory. This is John Wayne Spurs. He had the little star on the end. I think this part here was to protect your chaps or something. I'm not sure, but Duke had them. And then on the back side, what should be the inside, they are just plain. So nothing fancy on this side, but the other side is where all the coolness is. The spur straps are straps that I tried to get as close as I could to Duke's. They came off of eBay. I want to say they were 10, 15 bucks, something like that. And so we'll just come over here and you can see the other spur. The boots, Lucchese, they are, let me bring this over here so you can see these a little bit better. A square toe, coffin toe, I've heard French toe, I've heard cutter toe, I've heard all kinds of things. But these are the toe that John Wayne wore. At least, like I said, in Hondo, the Searchers, and Rio Bravo. The boots are also a dark brown. They almost look black in this video, but they are a very dark brown. It has a goldish yellow stitching up on the shaft of the boot. And I'll kind of get you this is what they look like here. Now, my good friend who is a John Wayne fanatic like myself, I just call him Duke because of that, told me that these boots, that Lucchese made them here, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or so, maybe a little bit longer than that. but they are the classic series. And I looked and looked and looked for these boots, and I found them like on other sites, and people selling them and stuff. Nothing brand new, but used boots, and which it's not a bad thing, because one of the things that I really dislike doing is breaking in boots. And so these are already broke in, so I'm very happy about that. But I just couldn't find boots in my size. Now I wear a 10 and a half. John Wayne, actually his foot size was a 10 and a half. But Duke wore boots bigger than his foot. Because Duke was like, I want to say 6'4", and he was a big man, but he had small feet, so they put him in bigger boots, and they stuffed newspapers in the boots, and then obviously his foot in there. So mine, would never want to buy bigger boots just to make look like I have big feet. So I got boots in my size, which is a 10 and a half. And I don't know if 10 and a half is like the national average for guys' feet, but it was impossible to find these boots in 10 and a half. Now, the ones I found, they were ranging from 8.5 to 9. I never found a 10 or anything bigger. And I went on eBay and I found these boots, and they were listed weird. It just wasn't like dark brown square toe Lucchese boots. It had a weird heading on it, title, and that night, I swear to God, I looked at 1,000 boots, but these showed up. I bought them, and like I said, they just came in yesterday. So I have really, really been chomping at the bit, because I've had the Spurs for a while, and it just took me a long time to find the boots. Now, on that subject, me finding boots, I was going to buy a pair. I think they were Dan Post, and actually I did buy them. Very nice boots, and really kind of close to these boots right here, square toe. They were a little bit lighter brown, but it's kind of the same stitching, goldish yellow up on the shaft of the boot. And they said they were 10 and a halves. I bought them. I was so excited they came in. They were like brand new. I mean, brand new. And when I opened up the box, you just smell that leather. And they were, each boot was individually wrapped in the original box and stuff. I think they were like worn really one time. And the only way I could tell that was the bottom of the boot was kind of scuffed up a little bit. But anyway, I was happy, and I tried to put them on, and my foot wouldn't go down there. And I'm like, what the heck? And I went back and I looked at the auction, and it said 10 and a half. And I'm like, well, something is weird here. And I looked down in the shaft of the boot, and they were an 8.5. And just broke my heart. So then I went to the city and tried finding boots. I had picked out certain boots, and I went to a boot store, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, those are all out of stock. And, you can order them. And so I'm like, well, I'd like to try them on and stuff. And I thought about getting them. They were, I want to say Moonshine. The brand was Moonshine, and that is a brand done by Boot Barn. So for you guys out there into boots and stuff. And I was kind of disappointed that I drove all the way to the city to look at boots, and they didn't even have them in my size. So, or even there for me to look at. And then I talked to Duke, and he told me about the boots, and I started looking. And then lucky enough for me that I have found these boots, and guys, I couldn't be more tickled right now. And they fit me. Everything is great. And so now the next step is getting Duke's vest made from Rio Bravo, and also his jacket from Rio Bravo. Travis is still going to make me the correct hat band from Rio Bravo. And then we're going to do the faux suede / buckskin Hondo shirt. And I'll have the Searchers, Hondo, because Hondo's hat is the same as Rio Bravo. And so I'll have those 3 movies wardrobe. And then me and Edward over at EJ Leatherworks, we're working on putting together the correct John Wayne gun belt. And I know a lot of you guys are going to go, hey, there's a million John Wayne gun belts out there. And, and the thing is about them, they're not right. And not all of them. A lot of them are the gun belts that Duke wore a little later, or maybe midway through his career once he got famous and stuff. But from Hondo, the Searchers, and Rio Bravo, which are my probably top 3 John Wayne movies, it is the wrong gun belt. And I've studied this gun belt till that's all I see anymore. And so we're going to do that correct gun belt. And then we're also going to do the correct Clint Eastwood gun belt modeled off the original Andy Anderson. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out about that. But right now, one more piece of the puzzle is being taken, or has basically scratched off the old list. And like I said, very, very excited about these boots, finally getting them in my possession, and the Spurs. Guys, I'm very, very excited, and I can't wait to put this outfit together. Now, over the last month or so, I have become friends with Tuco the Rat. You guys need to check out that channel if you haven't already. This guy is phenomenally fast on his shooting capabilities. I mean, it's really, really outstanding. And we have become friends. And Tuco and I have talked on the phone several times, and he's like, you need to get in front of the camera. And I'm going to, guys. You'll have to bear with my ugly face and all, but I am going to be wearing what we are making and showing you these outfits put together and what they look like actually on a human, if you want to call me human, instead of a mannequin. I just want all the wardrobe here so I can do that. And then it's just easier to do. But I will be eventually in front of the camera, and I'm going to figure ways to do this and learn to edit and stuff like that. But right now you're just dealing with me on my videos the way they are. And I apologize for that, but I promise you it's not going to be like that for always. So anyway, guys, I hope you like my correct John Wayne boots and Spurs. And if you guys have any questions, drop a comment below, and I'll help you out with anything I can. And until then, you guys be careful out there, and I'll just talk to you on the next video. Bye.